What if I told you the Landman Season 2 trailer wasn't just hype, but a coded message about how the oil wars are about to tear every character apart? The leaked Episode 1 footage doesn't just tease drama, it shows us the return of familiar faces, dangerous new players, and a storyline that could completely flip the series on its head. If you thought Season 1 was about greed and survival, Season 2 looks ready to turn the entire oil empire into a battlefield. Let's break it all down. Before we can fully dive into the leaked trailer for Landman Season 2, we need to step back and remind ourselves where this world left us. Season 1 introduced us to the gritty, unforgiving oil fields of West Texas. Unlike the glossy corporate boardrooms of traditional dramas, Landman dropped us straight into the mud, the sweat, and the danger of America's energy boom. At the center of it all was Tommy Norris, a man caught between loyalty to his family, survival in a cutthroat industry, and the dangerous allure of fast money. Tommy's story was never simple. He wasn't a clean-cut hero, but he wasn't a pure villain either. He was a survivor, someone who understood that in this world, the line between right and wrong is as slippery as the oil they're fighting over. One of the biggest themes of Season 1 was the clash between corporate power and the working men and women who risk everything in the oil fields. We saw billionaires and board members making decisions in suits while roughnecks bled and broke their backs in the dirt. This tension fueled so much of the drama. It wasn't just about drilling, it was about who owned the land, who controlled the resources, and who was willing to destroy lives for profit. And let's not forget the family drama. Tommy's complicated relationship with his estranged daughter was one of the emotional anchors of the season. Their scenes gave us a glimpse into the human cost of living in a world dominated by money and oil. It wasn't just about pipelines and rigs. It was about broken families, lost time, and the price of chasing power. By the end of Season 1, alliances had shattered, betrayals came to light, and every character seemed poised on the edge of either glory or ruin. Some were climbing to new heights of influence, while others were crushed under the weight of their choices. The finale left us with unanswered questions, particularly about Tommy's next move, the fate of his family, and how far the industry's corruption would go. Now, with Season 2's trailer leaked, we're starting to see the puzzle pieces come together. The world of Landman is not just continuing, it's expanding. And that makes the recap even more important, because every single decision from Season 1 seems to be echoing into this new chapter. The tone of Season 1 set the stage. Landman isn't about pretty endings or easy victories. It's about survival in a system designed to chew people up and spit them out. And that's exactly why Season 2 looks so dangerous, because when survival is the only rule, anything can happen. The leaked trailer for Landman Season 2 wastes no time. From the very first frame, you can feel the pressure building, the kind of slow-burn tension that tells you this season won't just revisit old wounds, it's going to rip them wide open. The opening shot is pure atmosphere, a wide drone view of endless Texas oil fields at dawn. The rigs stand like skeletal monsters against the rising sun, smoke pouring into the sky as if nature itself is warning us that chaos is on the horizon. Right here, the trailer makes its first statement. The land itself is a character, unforgiving, and it's about to test everyone who steps on it. Next, we get a quick montage of characters. Tommy Norris is shown in silhouette, stepping out of a truck. His face is shadowed, but his posture says everything. He's carrying weight, the kind of emotional baggage that only grows heavier with time. The trailer doesn't let us hear his voice yet, which is smart. By holding back his dialogue, it forces us to focus on his body language, and that silence is louder than words. It hints that Tommy is stepping into Season 2 as a man changed. Maybe harder, maybe broken, but definitely ready for battle. The pace shifts when we see a boardroom shot. Sleek glass walls, expensive suits, and a massive screen displaying oil prices. This is the other side of Landman, the chessboard where money moves faster than men. A character slams his hand on the table, and while we don't see his full face, we hear the words, "This isn't about oil, this is about power." That line is the kind of soundbite trailers are built on. It frames the entire season's conflict in one sentence. Oil is just the weapon, the real war is over control. Then comes the footage fans are already obsessing over online, a tense standoff at a drilling site. Workers are shouting, trucks are blocking the road, and we see a new character. For the first time, he's rugged, mid-40s, wearing a sheriff's badge, but his eyes suggest he's not there to uphold the law, he's there to enforce someone else's agenda. Who is he working for? A local authority, or one of the corporate giants pulling strings? From the shadows, his presence at a protest scene tells us that Season 2 is going bigger, tackling not just personal survival but community-level battles. The trailer keeps building momentum with a flash of action shots, a bar fight, an oil rig, fire, and a pickup truck racing down a dirt road at night. Each of these is only a second long, but when you stitch them together, the picture is clear. Season 2 will not stay contained. The violence is spreading. These are no longer private disputes. They're public explosions. One of the most shocking moments comes around the middle of the trailer. We finally hear Tommy's voice, strained but steady, saying, "If I don't fight, we all lose." His words confirm what fans suspected. He's no longer just out to protect himself or his family. He's stepping into something bigger, maybe leading a fight against the industry itself, or at least against the men who control it. That one line shifts him from reluctant survivor to reluctant leader, and that is a dangerous role in this world. The trailer also teases returning faces. A brief glimpse of Tommy's daughter, older and tougher now, standing in front of a rig at night. She looks different, not scared, but defiant. The choice to show her in silence mirrors her father's early shots, almost as if both characters are mirrors of each other, each carrying scars, each ready to stand their ground. This suggests her role in Season 2 will be much bigger, maybe even central to the conflict. The final sequence of the trailer is pure adrenaline, explosions light. Up the oil fields, voices overlap in chaos, and we hear one chilling line from an unidentified voice. The land doesn't forgive. Neither do I. The trailer cuts to black right after, leaving fans buzzing with speculation. Who said it? A new villain? A returning enemy? The voice is deep, threatening, and whoever it belongs to, it's clear they will be Season 2's driving force of destruction. What makes this trailer so powerful isn't just the imagery, it's the promise. It promises a season that will expand the scope, raise the stakes, and throw every character into a storm they can't escape. Season 1 showed us the cost of survival. Season 2 looks ready to show us the cost of war, asterisk if the trailer set the tone. For the season, the leaked Episode 1 footage takes it further by giving us our first real taste of what's coming. And let me tell you, this footage doesn't just tease. It rewrites the rules of where Landman is heading. The first leaked scene is quiet, almost too quiet. It opens on Tommy sitting alone in his truck, parked on the edge of a drilling site. At night, the headlights are off. The world outside is dark, except for the distant glow of machinery. He's staring down at a stack of papers and his lap permits, contracts, maybe evidence. His face is worn, his eyes heavy, like a man who knows he's about to cross a line he can't come back from. What's so striking is the silence. No dialogue. No music, just the hum of engines in the distance. It feels like the show is reminding us, the biggest wars don't always start with noise, they start in stillness. Then, in sharp contrast, the footage cuts to chaos. A confrontation between workers and company enforcers at a rig site. People are shouting, shoving, and someone throws a punch. What's important here isn't the brawl itself, but the camera's focus. Instead of staying on the fight, it lingers. On the sheriff we glimpsed in the trailer, the mysterious new character. He doesn't intervene. He just watches, his expression unreadable. This single choice paints him as someone who thrives in disorder. The leak scene suggests he's not a peacemaker, he's a predator waiting for the right moment to strike. Another major leaked moment comes in the form of dialogue. A boardroom meeting between the corporate executives. One of them, a character we haven't seen before, says, "If we lose control of this county, we lose everything." That line confirms what fans have been speculating. This season isn't just about oil, it's about territory. The fight is moving beyond contracts and leases, it's about political power, law enforcement, and the very ground under their feet. That's why Episode 1 feels so important. It sets up the battlefield not just in the oil fields, but in the courts, the towns, and the families caught in between. The leaked footage also gives us an emotional punch. We see Tommy's daughter in a heated argument with him. She shouts, "You're no different than them." This one line is heartbreaking because it shows the fracture between them hasn't healed. In fact, it may have gotten worse. Season 1 left us with the hope that their bond could be repaired, but episode 1 looks like it's ripping it apart again. The personal stakes are colliding with the bigger war, and that makes every choice Tommy makes even more dangerous. If his own daughter doesn't trust him, how can he expect anyone else to? And then there's the shot that fans are already calling the firestorm. Late in the leaked footage, we see flames ripping through an oil rig at night. Workers are scrambling, alarms are blaring, and someone is yelling that it wasn't an accident. This moment is crucial because it plants the seed of sabotage. Someone out there is playing dirty, and it's not just about profit, it's about destruction. The implication is that Season 2 won't simply be about corporations versus workers. It's going to involve sabotage, arson, and full-on war tactics. The final leaked scene is the most haunting. Tommy, standing on his land at dawn, looking out over the horizon. His voiceover says, "This land was never ours. We just borrowed it, and now it's coming to collect." That's not just a reflection, it's a warning. The show is telling us that the land itself, symbolic of greed, history, and conflict, is about to demand payment. And if that's how episode 1 ends, then season 2 isn't easing us back into the story. It's throwing us straight into the storm. What makes this leaked footage so powerful is how it blends the personal with the political. We're not just watching Tommy struggle, we're watching an entire community slide into chaos. The stakes have grown, the enemies are more dangerous, and every line of dialogue feels like a prophecy of destruction. If this is just episode 1, imagine how explosive the rest of the season will be. Asterisk. Now that we've gone through the leaked trailer and the episode 1 footage, it's time to talk about what it all could mean. Landman has never been a straightforward drama. It's a story built on secrets, betrayals, and shifting alliances. And if Season 1 was about survival in the oil boom, then all signs suggest that Season 2 will be about war. Not just personal war, but a full-scale conflict where every character has to choose a side. One of the biggest theories circulating after the leaked footage is that Tommy Norris is stepping into a leadership role he never wanted. His line, "If I don't fight, we all lose," hints that he might become the unlikely face of resistance. But what does resistance look like in this world? It could mean workers uniting against corporations, small-town landowners taking back their rights, or even entire communities rising up against the system. For Tommy, who's always been a man caught in the middle, that role could easily destroy him. Fans are already wondering, will Tommy become the hero the people need? Or will his past mistakes drag him down before he even begins? Then there's the sheriff character. His introduction feels far too deliberate for him to be just another side player. The fact that he doesn't step in during the fight at the rig suggests he's playing a long game. Some fans believe he could be the season's central antagonist, a lawman bought and paid for by the corporations. Others think he might be more complicated, a man torn between duty and survival, much like Tommy himself. The mystery surrounding him is fueling speculation that he could represent the corrupted arm of law enforcement, showing how deep corporate influence runs in West Texas. The leaked footage of the boardroom scene also opens the door to a bigger theory. The corporations aren't just fighting for profit, they're fighting for territory. The line, "If we lose control of this county, we lose everything," suggests that what's happening in West Texas could be the beginning of a larger battle across the state. If that's true, Season 2 might expand the scope of the show, moving beyond a single community to explore a much larger map of corruption and control. Imagine the story widening to include politicians, judges, and entire counties being swallowed by the oil empire. Another theory gaining traction is centered around Tommy's daughter. In Season 1, she was more of an emotional anchor, a reminder of the personal stakes. But Season 2 seems to be setting her up for a much bigger role. Her line, "You're no different than them," feels like foreshadowing. What if she becomes a voice of opposition, not just against Tommy, but against the entire industry? Some fans even believe she could align herself with activists or rival forces, putting her in direct conflict with her father. That kind of storyline would raise the emotional stakes to unbearable levels. Family torn apart, not just by old wounds, but by choosing opposite sides in the war. The biggest question, though, comes from the firestorm seen the oil rig engulfed in flames. If that was sabotage, then we're dealing with an escalation unlike anything in Season 1. Sabotage means that someone is willing to play dirty, to risk lives and infrastructure to gain power. But who would dare to light that match? Some theories suggest it's a rival corporation trying to weaken the competition. Others point to desperate workers pushed to the edge by years of exploitation. And the darkest theory? That Tommy himself might be involved, forcing chaos in order to tip the scales. That would be the ultimate twist, turning the reluctant survivor into the very agent of destruction. And let's not forget the final voice from the trailer. The land doesn't forgive. Neither do I. Who said it? Fans are split. Some argue it belongs to a brand new villain, someone with deep ties to the land and a personal grudge. Others think it could be a returning character, someone from Tommy's past who we thought was out of the picture. The ambiguity of that voice is deliberate. It's meant to haunt us, to make us question every possibility. All these theories point toward one truth. Season 2 is going to push every character past their breaking point. Friendships will collapse, families will fracture, and the thin line between right and wrong will blur until we can't tell one from the other. If Season 1 was about surviving in a brutal system, Season 2 looks like it's about tearing that system apart, even if it means burning everything down, and that's the beauty of Landman. It's not about clean heroes or easy villains, it's about people caught in the gears of power, trying to find their place in a world that doesn't care if they live or die. The leaked footage and trailer confirm it. This season is going to test every loyalty, every relationship, and every ounce of strength these characters have left. So the real question isn't just who will win, it's who will still be standing when the dust settles.